with no regard for the people or the neighbor's safety or the impact it will have on the region as a whole. She says the risk to life far outweighs the minimal cost of waiting a few more months for Mary's kitchen to find a new home. The city's plan claims to provide food and services for homeless people for 30 days once the soup kitchen closes. The Attorney General who investigated harassment allegations against former Governor Andrew Cuomo is now eyeing his former office.
Today, I am announcing my campaign to be your next governor.
Letitia James says she fought for affordable housing, worked to eliminate the NRA, and come after drug companies for fueling the opioid crisis.
I spent my career guided by a simple principle: stand up for policy on behalf of the vulnerable.
James is expected to be a strong challenger against Governor Kathy Hochul, who had been Cuomo's lieutenant governor. And a new TikTok trend may not be good for man's best friend. It's usually hashtagged talking smack and shows dog owners getting into their pets' faces as they mouth the audio of a woman speaking in a funny voice about how she's been taking Taekwondo lessons. Some dogs appear to ignore their owners or look a little confused, but at least the vet who's talking smack to your dog could be dangerous, because if the dog becomes upset and you're up in his face, he could bite you, even if you're a favorite human. A dog behavior says even if your dog doesn't bite, you could be harming the bond and the trust you have with your pet. Amy King, KFI News. It is slow on the 405 in Costa Mesa. We're looking at the northbound side, and delays are loading up away from Bristol, taking you ahead all the way to Beach Boulevard in Huntington Beach. And southbound slowing, loading up, getting away from just about Bolsa. You remain on the bridge ahead, looking better by Warner. We've got Mike O'Brien, KFI in the Sky, sponsored by Injury Attorney, SuperwomanSuperLawyer.com, Pasadena.
Yeah, and it's kind of a dope pass on the 210. Now, the 210 westbound is flowing here out of Arcadia, working the way over towards the Rose Bowl into downtown. Now, it looks like the 210 eastbound getaway Friday, and it is really tough here. Starting in downtown Pasadena, it'll be on and off the break up to about Citrus. It loosens up a bit. That's on for the 57, much of the way into Rancho Cucamonga. Now, if you're heading north on the 15 up to the high desert, 15 northbound, you're just going in off the 215 hook up at about 10 to 1. There's come up to the 138 and even the southbound side. A lot of folks coming out of the high desert for the basin. Looks like that's loading up from Oak Hill Summit down to the 138 as well. If it is an accident, visit SuperwomanSuperLawyer.com. Mike O'Brien, KFI in the Sky.
KFI in the Sky helps get you there faster. I'm
Other she's falling out, so you can't smile, right? You look more like a jack-o'-lantern. Maybe you've got two teeth left poking out. And also, you can't eat very much, can you? You can't chew food. That's tough. You got a cunning dental. They have new permanent teeth in a day. Their new permanent teeth, they're zirconia teeth. They look completely natural. They feel like real ones, but they're stronger and more resistant to cracking, chipping, or staining. But you will be able to bite and chew like you used to. Eat everything. And you can smile again. Smile in photos, smile in person. You'll look much more attractive. Get $1,500 off your procedure. This offer expires November 30th. And they offer no money down payment plans on approved credit. Use your dental insurance by the end of the year or you'll lose it. Call Cunning Dental. 888-640-SMILE. 888-640-SMILE. 888-640-SMILE.
Southland weather from KFI, partly cloudy and cooler tomorrow. Highs low to mid-70s for Metro LA, mid-70s to around 80 in the valleys, mid to upper 70s for inland OC, upper 70s to low 80s in the IE. We lead local. Live from the KFI 24-hour newsroom, I'm Deborah Mark.
Attention savvy investors. Looking for predictable monthly cash flow? Want to reduce uncertainty? Hedge inflation and stock market risk with double-digit targeted returns? If you want the safety and security of a real estate investment, but without the hassles of being a landlord, you've probably heard of NRIA. NRIA is an industry-leading real estate development firm in its 15th year, developing strategically located, lower-risk, high-demand neighborhoods based on supply-demand imbalance. They're a great fit for safety-oriented investors who want cash flow and diversification into carefully chosen real estate. Learn more about the NRIA Real Estate Development Fund at nria.net or call 800-800-1414. That's 800-800-1414.
An offer of securities is only made by the NRIA Private Placement Memorandum. Read it first. Past performance does not guarantee future results. NRIA is a real estate development firm. Learn more at nria.net.
Amazon Delivery Service Partners are hiring full-time delivery drivers to meet growing customer demand. Earn at least $19.50 per hour at select stations, plus benefits, and a sign-on bonus of $2,000 from participating DSPs if you apply now. Apply today at www.amazon.com/driver. That's www.amazon.com/driver. No delivery experience required. Terms apply. Hourly rate includes a limited time incentive for delivering a route full-time between October 17th to December 25th, 2021.
Do you need a new water heater? Water Heaters Only, with over 53 years in business, offers low prices, quality same-day service, and 0% deferred interest financing. Visit waterheatersonly.com. That's waterheatersonly.com. Terms and conditions apply.
The California RV Show is at DVRV.com. Travel trailers, fifth wheels, gas and diesel motorhomes. All new models with show-stopping pricing. Reps on site to approve deals. The California RV Show at
DVRV.com, where the 405 meets the 22 Westminster. You've heard the line, two is better than one. That's especially true when you're looking for a brand new BMW. Hi, I'm Danny McKenna with McKenna BMW and South Bay BMW. With 2 stores, BMW is sending us twice the inventory. In fact, we have the best supply of BMWs we've ever had this year. You want to drive the ultimate driving machine? Visit McKennaCars.com for a location near you. We can handle the process over the phone, or you can come to the dealership and kick a few tires. Remember, McKenna BMW on the 605 or South Bay BMW off the 405, where 2 is always better than 1.
Don't miss Mamma Mia. Tickets at LaMoradaTheater.com.
For official rules and more information about contests on this station, go to KFIAM640.com/rules.
Your Honda Lease Return Supercenter is Norm Reeves Honda Superstore. NormReeves.com.
I just got tested. It came back positive for candy corn. Yeah, it's going around. KFI AM640. Happy Halloween.
More stimulating talk.
John and Ken Show, John Cobell and Ken Shampo, KFI, AM640 live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
Well, it is something that's come up on the John and Ken Show probably once a year for many years now. The idea, and I guess it's appropriate that we talk about linking this into that stupid climate conference in Scotland that is beginning on Sunday, because this is about the climate. And they've had this idea, and we've heard that they're really frustrated here in California that they can't do something about the amount of climate change gases that are put out by transportation. So that would be you driving your car. So what keeps coming up year after year is the idea of a mileage tax. Statewide, they've been working on a program, a pilot program, but the one right now that is getting closer to possibly being real is down in San Diego County. They have something called SANDAG, which stands for the San Diego Association of Governments. The director is Hassan Ekrata. Might be a name familiar to some of our audience members because he used to be the director of STAG, the Southern California Association of Governments, but they lured him away with big money. And thank God for that.
Former citizen of the Soviet Union, educated at a communist university in Moscow, formerly a bureaucratic head with the communist public transit system in Moscow. And he's a
Big supporter of road diet.
and he brings his communist leanings here to Southern California and tries to force us to get off the road or pay a ransom in some kind of tax.
So they're trying to raise $163 billion in some big transportation schemes for San Diego County, which would include both a sales tax and, yes, a mileage tax. They're even working on a way that they can make sure they know just how many miles you've driven.
Yeah.
So they get their money.
Can you imagine this? They want to track how many miles you drive. The government's going to have a bureaucracy, and they're going to keep a record of where you drove and how many miles you drove.
Now, how much? 4.3 cents a mile is the proposal. Let's listen to part of this report from ABC 10 in San Diego about this proposal.
More choices, faster, fairer, and cleaner systems, breathing better air, providing transportation option that gets our residents from A to be in the shortest
Yes,
time
comrade.
possible.
Those are all of the benefits San Diego CEO Hassan Islata says their regional plan consists of. But in order for that to happen, the current gas tax San Diego residents already pay will change from per gallon to per mile under the vehicle mileage tax, an extra 2 cents per mile, plus a regional-wide sales tax also at 2 cents per mile.
This is not about penalizing people or taxing people. This is about reimagining the future of transportation system in San Diego.
If the plan passes, it would not only include the extra 4 cents per mile, but a fee for upgraded toll lanes, which in turn would make all public transportation free for everyone.
The future is not 50 years from now, it's now. And we're telling San Diegans we want to invest in the future for our kids and grandkids. We want to breathe better air. We want to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. We want to be responsible
Got all
citizens.
the talking points, don't you?
They want to change 819 lane miles of San Diego's freeways into toll lanes. You heard that part in there.
No, you got a twofer here. They want to take a lot of your money, and in order to do that, they want to make you feel guilty. That's why there's talk about children and grandchildren. And then the second part, after they take your money, is they want to control what you do. They want to tell you what to do. They want to tell you how much you can drive. Now, it's hard for them to carry out an order on driving limits, so they're going to squeeze you by taking the money.
Because,
And it's
you're
there.
right, because they believe that you acting independently is killing the air. So that's why they have to
They're-
take control of what you do.
They are not.
That's their belief.
They are not worried about the air in any way. What their desire is to take your money and control you. That's what motivates them. The cover story.
Well, they take the money and run with it? Is that what they're
Yeah,
going to do?
well, of course, all their jobs depend on tax money. All the people who
Well,
are
they have
pushing,
this idea of building a big mass transit network in San Diego.
sure, and that rewards,
buses and trolley lines
and who does that reward? The political contributors who are going to enrich these politicians, donations to their campaigns, donations to their phony nonprofits. It's a virtuous circle for them. It's like the high-speed rail, right? I mean, you've got an example in neon lights every day. Billions and billions of dollars for something that's never been built for 13 years and never will be in its entirety. Maybe a little spur between
Yeah,
them.
billions have been spent, and the
Yeah.
biggest
But-
benefactor of that has been consultants, apparently.
Yes, and unions. Unions who are providing the construction labor, who also donate heavily to the campaigns and nonprofits of these politicians. And they'll tell you everybody in Sacramento knows that this thing is a dog and it's never going to get built, but they have to please the unions because the unions are giving them a lot of money.
They're even going after people who use Uber and Lyft. They're proposing a $1.25 surcharge if you're riding by yourself and 65 cents if you're sharing a ride. Wow.
You know,
They thought of everything here.
The communists in the Soviet Union years ago, the communists in China now, they believe in central planning. They believe that there is one group of enlightened, anointed people who have the intelligence and education to direct the rest of society. And they know what you need to make you happy. And they really, really believe this, and they'll also get rich off it, which is their main motivator. But again, you need something to sell to manipulate your emotion. And so it's like, we're all going to die from the climate. Your children and grandchildren are going to die. Because that scares people. Look at that story we did a little while ago. About half the young people are frightened that climate change is going to ruin their lives, and they worry about it every day.
They're going to watch this. They're going to vote on this in December. And if this goes down in San Diego County, that doesn't bode well for the rest of us because people will love this idea and gobble it up in all sorts of parts of the state. All right, we got more coming up after 4 o'clock. Steve Gregory's been covering this story involving the LA County Sheriff, Alex Villanueva. It's not about the homeless. It's about how vaccine mandates could decimate the public safety forces in the county, particularly the Sheriff's Department. And that could be bad news in a time of rising crime. More coming up.
Johnny King, KFI, Deborah Marquez. News.
A paraglider has been seriously hurt in San Jacinto. The Riverside County Fire Department says the paraglider lost control and crashed in the hills above the Boba Indian Reservation around 12:30 this afternoon. The Biden administration is in talks to pay about $450,000 to immigrant kids and their parents who crossed the border illegally during the Trump administration. President Biden has met with the Post. The two met for more than an hour. We have trouble on the 405, and we will check in with the KFI in the sky next.
You have lousy vision, unfocused, blurry, you're irritated by your glasses or contacts. Imagine if you could see clearly. 20/20 or better. Well, you can in most cases if you go to Dr. Charles Menger at Saddleback Eye Center. He has a laser light LASIK exam. Measures your eyes over 1,000 times to get the perfect map of your vision, a blueprint, and he knows what to do. You go from the LASIK exam to the procedure, which only takes 20 minutes. There's no pain. Doesn't hurt. You walk out of there, like I did, with 20/20 vision or better. You see crystal clear. This works if you're nearsighted, farsighted, you have astigmatism, or you just need reading glasses. And it doesn't matter if other doctors told you LASIK won't work. Most of the time they're wrong. You go to Dr. Menger. Be one of the first 14 callers now. Free laser light LASIK exam. Call 866-559-4444. 866-559-4444. 866-559-4444.
This is Doug Gottlieb. Here's what's trending from the iHeart Sports Network.
Presented by News Nation.
The Rams are traveling to Texas to take on the Houston Texans this weekend. The Rams are 6-1 going into the contest and have won 3 straight in their first season with Matthew Stafford leading the offense. The Lakers are taking on the Cavaliers tonight, and it's still unknown if LeBron James will play against his former team. He's been out the last 2 games with an ankle injury. And it's Luis Garcia on the mound for the Astros against Ian Anderson for the Braves in Game 3 of the World Series tonight in Atlanta. I'm J.D. Halfrey.
All too often, the media are ignoring the everyday heroics of our policemen and women. Well, that changes on News Nation. Dan Abrams and his live PD sidekick Styx are back in prime time on Dan Abrams Live, weeknights at 5 p.m. Pacific on News Nation.
We have a crash on the 405 in Costa Mesa.
This one is along the northbound side, and it's coming up on Fairview. That's where middle lanes were blocked. They're trying to get everything cleared to the shoulder, but delays are backing up, getting away from the 55 freeway. Let's check in with Mike O'Brien, KFI in the Sky, sponsored by injury attorney, SuperwomanSuperLawyer.com. We're heading to Glendale.
Yeah, and a little trouble spot here on the 134. 134 eastbound, just past the 2, a little before you hit the hill there up towards Eagle Rock. Looks like there's really a stall at the number 2 lane. So that adds added to a very tough drive. It starts way back out of Burbank from about Bob Hope Drive. Now, it also looks like the 405 northbound at about Sherman Way, maybe Victory. I believe it's Victory. They cleared an earlier problem, but boy, it's really tough today through the Sepulveda Pass. I'm seeing this backup going all the way back through the 10. Southbound side of the 405 as you're heading towards LAX for a flight. Not flying here. It's going to load up there at Wilshire Boulevard. The worst of it down to about La Tijera. Injured in an accident? Visit SuperwomanSuperLawyer.com. Mike O'Brien, KFI in the Sky.
Also in Inglewood on the 405 northbound at Century Boulevard, the Century Boulevard collector on and off ramps are all shut down due to police activity. If you're heading to LAX, take the 105 west. KFI in the Sky helps get you there faster. I'm Angel Martinez.
This report is sponsored by the California COVID-19 Rent Relief Program. Has COVID-19 made it hard to pay your rent or utilities? Are you worried about eviction? Eligible renters can now get 100% of their rent and utility bills paid. Apply today at housingiskey.com.
I'm Susan Owen, managing partner at OPO Law. If you think all personal injury attorneys are alike, you'd be surprised. All law firms are not the same. For over 4 decades, OPO Law has had a 98% success rate on over 10,000 cases. While insurance companies continue to make lowball offers, we stand up for you to get you the money you deserve. Fierce pursuit to win for you is our specialty, and we've obtained over $1 billion for injury victims. We don't settle your case for what the insurance company thinks it's worth. We settle your case for what we believe it's worth. If you have been injured in an accident, call 888-OPO-WINS. That's 888-OPO-WINS. Or visit opolaw.com. Remember, you don't pay until we win your case.
OPO Law, the law firm insurance companies fear most.
I'm Susan Owen, and I would be honored to handle your case.
Call 888-OPO-WIN today.
When it comes to business, independent talent is no longer a temporary solution. It's a permanent evolution. Build your team on the world's work marketplace. Upwork. Up we go.
Every new Toyota comes with peace of mind standard. That's because you get Toyota Care no-cost maintenance when you buy or lease any new Toyota car, truck, or SUV. Toyota Care covers all normal factory scheduled services for 2 years or 25,000 miles, whichever comes first, and even includes 24-hour roadside assistance and lockout protection. See your Toyota dealer for details and exclusions. Valid only in the continental U.S. and Alaska.
Hi, you must be Tina.
Yeah, that's me.
I recognized you right away. Wow, you look just like your picture.
And you are...
I'm Carlos. You didn't recognize me?
Kinda.
Kinda doesn't cut it. That's why Toyota certified technicians only use genuine Toyota parts. So they fit your Toyota perfectly. Toyota Service Centers. Keep your Toyota a Toyota. We make it easy. Toyota. Let's go places. Impact Mortgage Corp. DBA Cash Call Mortgage. NMLS ID 1282331 Guazi Lender. Non-licensed in all states including New York. Offer based on loans over $250,000. Call 855-657-9910 for licensing terms and restrictions.
What's better than a mortgage interest rate and APR in the twos? How about a cash-out refi with an interest rate and APR in the twos? At Cash Call Mortgage, our customers are getting the cash they need from their home's equity and getting a low interest rate and APR in the twos. Imagine refinancing your mortgage to a rate and APR in the twos and taking cash out for the things in life you need. At Cash Call Mortgage, we'll even pay the title, escrow, and appraisal fees. Home down units sold, and interest rates are at all-time lows. But the clock is ticking on how long these rates and APRs will stay this low. Imagine a mortgage rate in the twos and some extra cash in your pocket. For a free quote to see if you qualify, go to cashcallmortgage.com or call us today. Call 800-633-0861. That's 800-633-0861. 800-633-0861.
God only knows how long I'll be at this job. I know it's been 30 years at KFI, but you never know. One day that you just say, you know, Neil, it's either you lose weight or we have to widen the doors. We might have to part ways.
The Fork Report with Neil Saavedra.
What did you say? You know what? You're just too handsome. That's probably the way to go.
Tomorrow afternoon at 2 on KFI AM 640.
More stimulating talk.
You tend to die by during your penis. The electricity should not have passed through your body until you are dead.
From the John and Ken Execution Desk, here's John and Ken.
John Kodak, Ken Shampo, KFI AM 640, live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. What occurred yesterday in Oklahoma now. Oklahoma's a state that apparently, well, we covered this a few years back. They had a series of lethal injections in 2014 and 2015 that I guess didn't go well. One of the problems is they're still using the 3-drug protocol. In fact, they did it again yesterday, and the guy started vomiting, and it was kind of ugly, messy, you know. Yeah, we're going to have well, we'll play it for in a moment. But the person that was executed is John Marion Grant. I want to tell you right off the bat, in 1998, he grabbed an employee. He was already serving time in a prison for armed robbery. He grabbed an employee of the prison cafeteria and pulled her into a closet and stabbed her numerous times to death. He was sentenced to die in 1999. He's a homemade shank. Yeah. 16 times into this woman's body. Her name was Gay Carter, and believe it or not, in the years since, one of his appeals is that they were having a romantic relationship. She cut it off and his heart was broken. Her family says that's nonsense. That was not. It was just a desperate attempt to try to explain. It doesn't matter. You don't get to kill somebody over that. Yes, it's not an excuse. So here is a bit of audio from an Associated Press reporter, or at least from this article by the AP. It appears to be Michael Grazik, a retired AP reporter who still covers executions. I guess he enjoys it. I don't know. Let's listen.
They look to the side as the drugs begin to flow. The first drug, the diagonal, he exhaled deeply. He began convulsing about 2 dozen times, full body convulsions, and then began to vomit which covered his face and began to run down his neck and the side of his face. Continued to breathe for several minutes before two members of the medical team or the execution team came in and wiped his face. At that point, he was still breathing and had some involuntary convulsions, vomited more, and then the member of the execution team performed a consciousness check, and he was declared unconscious at 4:15. Then the second round of drugs began to flow at about 4:16, and his breathing stopped about 1 minute later at about 4:17, and the Department of Corrections Director, Scott Crow, declared the execution complete and the time of death at 4:21. Curtains were lowered at that point, and the execution was finished. How many times did it was kind of bucking? Yeah, it seemed like a full body convulsion about 2 dozen times is what I think. That happened right after the dad landed? Right.
And the vomiting right after the dad landed?
Yeah, well, after he began convulsing, then he was that was, I mean, it seemed like a long time, but it was probably, I mean, he began convulsing shortly after the first drug started flowing. I mean, I could see the drug coming through the IVs, then he began to convulse pretty hard. Then he was vomiting probably.
It was a bad last meal. They had that sedative they used first, the Dazzleland. And well, yeah, or he could have just had an allergic reaction to it, or maybe he was scared. Apparently when this was, well, actually he was yelling at the beginning, let's go, let's go. He wanted to get this over with. Yeah, and then he started delivering a stream of profanity. Yeah, so he's screaming and cursing. But again, let's go back to plunging a shank 16 times into a woman's body and killing her. You know, so he vomits a little, and the reporters are all aghast. He was already serving a 130-year prison sentence for several armed robberies when he killed this woman in the prison. Notice the headline, Oklahoma executes inmate who dies vomiting and convulsing, not Oklahoma executes inmate who stabbed somebody 16 times to death. Never is the case. No, never. Because now we are the murderers. And if we're going to kill him, what do we care about a little vomit on the side? Why is that an issue? I don't know. Why is it an issue if he suffers? Look what he did to the person he killed. I mean, I wish we could have heard about him vomiting for an hour. All right, Steve Gregory is coming up next to give us the rundown on, once again, it's in the news. The LA County Sheriff Alex Villanueva that the vaccine mandate for county employees, which would include, of course, the Sheriff's Department, could be tough on public safety. Coming up next. John and Ken Show, Deborah Marquez, the news, KFI AM 640.
Handle. Morning. KFI.
KOST HD2.
Los Angeles, Orange County.
Live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
Safety concern. I'm Deborah Mark, live from the KFI 24-hour newsroom. The LA County Sheriff has declared an imminent threat to public safety because of the county's vaccine mandate.
Sheriff Villanueva says the board's decision to make vaccinations mandatory for all county employees is causing a mass exodus within his department. Villanueva sent a letter to the board explaining that close to 20 to 30% of his workforce is no longer available to provide service. He says there's an increase in unscheduled retirements, workers' comp claims, employees quitting, and a reduction in qualified applicants, all of which, he says, contributes to slower response times, reduction in homicide cases being solved, and the potential closure of stations. He says employees already followed COVID protocols, so the mandate is not necessary. Steve Gregory, KFI News.
And Steve will be on with John and Ken after the news with much more on this. The Port of LA has approved a container fee to try to speed up a record backlog of container ships stuck at anchor.
Ocean carriers will be charged $100 per container per day starting Monday, and the dwell fee increases $100 each day.
You need to free up this space.
Port of LA Executive Director Gene Soroka says it's going to help the little guy meet holiday shopping orders.
The guy who imports maybe 10 containers of toys a year, and this next 4 weeks is going to make or break his payroll in a third-generation family-owned business.
The fees could cost shippers millions each day. Soroka says stakeholders who weren't coming to the table to help fix the supply chain crisis before are now trying to find solutions. In L.A., Corbin Carter, KFI News.
The president of the Los Alamitos School Board is facing backlash for comments she made about parents at a school board meeting. Marlise Davidson was heard using profanity and making rude comments Tuesday while parents were saying they did not want their kids to get the vaccine. Davidson has apologized, but this parent told John and Ken the apology isn't sincere.
An apology is only being accepted, or not even accepted, but being offered because she was caught.
And that's just the bottom line. She was caught on a hot mic, and if she hadn't been caught, she wouldn't have said a single word to anybody.
Parents are planning a protest for next Monday to push for Davidson to resign. The FDA has approved smaller doses of Pfizer's COVID-19 vaccine for kids 5 to 11. The doses are a third of the amount given to teens and adults. ABC's Michelle Franzen says the CDC advisory board will meet early next week to review the COVID shot for the younger group.
The CDC's director would make the final decision, and with the guidelines, vaccinations could start as early as next week.
The White House's millions of pediatric doses are already ready to ship across the country to pediatricians, pharmacies, and community clinics. The armorer on the movie set in New Mexico, where Alec Baldwin shot and killed the cinematographer and injured the director, says she has no idea where the live round came from. Her lawyers say Hannah Gutierrez-Reed is devastated and completely beside herself over what happened. They say safety is her #1 priority on set. Investigators are still trying to figure out why live rounds were at the location. And President Biden and the First Lady have met with Pope Francis at the Vatican.
Oh, thank you. I am Jill's husband.
Hello. Hello, nice to meet you. Biden and the Pope met for more than an hour. Biden says abortion did not come up in the meeting, but says the Pope told him he should keep receiving communion. Conservative Catholics say Biden should not receive the sacrament because of his position on abortion. We have a stall on the 57 in Fullerton.
This one is along the southbound side, and it's coming right up on Yorba Linda Boulevard where the center lane is blocked. Delays are backing up out of Brea, getting away from Imperial Highway. Let's head out to Santa Monica with Mike O'Brien, KFI in the Sky, sponsored by Injury Attorney, Superwoman, Superlawyer.com.
Yeah, definitely a very tough drive today. Getaway Friday and all. 10 eastbound loading up right out of Santa Monica there, downtown Santa Monica. It will be heavy through downtown Los Angeles. Up ahead, if you continue on to the 60 eastbound, that's just a brutal drive from East LA Interchange out to about San Gabriel Boulevard. Loosens up just a bit. It's just a few minute drive there where it's full speed ahead, but then you're back on the brakes, rolling tight into the birds with the 57. Northbound 57, there's a little problem clearing around Diamond Bar Boulevard, but it looks like that's adding to slowing from Conner Canyon up to the 60. Injured in an accident? Visit Superwoman, Superlawyer.com. Mike O'Brien, KFI in the Sky.
The Cajon Pass on the 15, northbound flowing, filling in at the 215 merge all the way to the 138. KFI in the Sky helps get you there faster. I'm Angel Martinez.
That is great. Lose its enthusiasm.
Homeowners, with all the craziness in the world right now, want some good news? Mortgage rates continue to drop and are at near all-time lows. If your interest rate is higher than 1.75%, you need to call True Mortgage now. We're offering a 15-year fixed at just 1.75% rate, 2.140% APR with no lender fees. That's right, no title fees, no escrow fees, and no appraisal fees. So what are you waiting for? Call True Mortgage now to see how much money you can save. But hurry, because this low 15-year fixed at just 1.75% rate, 2.140% APR with no lender fees won't last long. Call 800-620-1162. 800-620-1162. That's 800-620-1162. Or visit TrueNow.com.
Sign on a licensed DBA True Mortgage is an equal housing lender. Terms and conditions apply. Based on loan amount of $400,000 monthly principal and interest payment. Primary residence only with a 50% loan to value. All loans subject to underwriting approval and not all applicants will qualify. Loans made or arranged pursuant to a California Finance Law License number 60-CBO44713 and NMLS number 1626699.
San Manuel Casino is changing its name and changing its game. San Manuel Casino is now Yamaba Resort and Casino at San Manuel, with 2 new casino floors, now with over 6,500 slots, the most in the West. A new Highland room for 5 elevated gaming experiences, new luxury retail shops, restaurants and bars, and even more thrills to come. Experience a level of thrill that California has never seen before. San Manuel Casino is now Yamaba Resort and Casino at San Manuel. Details at yamaba.com. After 21, please gamble responsibly.
The KFI Financial Report brought to you by Bay Alarm. The Dow closed up 89, S&P 500 up 9, NASDAQ up 50, and the average price of a gallon of regular gas in California is $4.58.
With a range of commercial fire and security solutions, Bay Alarm can protect it all with just one call.
Southland weather from KFI, partly cloudy and cooler tomorrow, looking at highs in the low to mid-70s for Metro LA. Mid-70s to around 80 in the valleys, mid to upper 70s for Inland OC, upper 70s to low 80s in the IE. Right now it is 82 in Orange, 77 Huntington Beach, 89 in Northridge, and 87 in Sun Valley. We lead local, live from the KFI 24-hour newsroom. I'm Deborah Mark.
Show. John Cobalt and Tim Chappelle, Kfi Am 640. Live everywhere in the iHeartRadio app.
Another shot at some money. 15 minutes or so, you'll get the keyword to text to possibly win $1,000 in this nationwide contest that presents at least 11 KFI listeners have already won in a couple of weeks since we started this keyword contest. Next hour, they'll be here. They'll tell you what they got to ramble about this week. The more fun folks. It's coming up in the 5 o'clock hour.
We got Steve Gregory coming on. LA County Sheriff Alex Villanueva, the only public official doing anything useful in Southern California. He's telling the world that this is a really bad idea to have this vaccine mandate for all county employees, because, especially the sheriff's department, because people are quitting, they're retiring, they're going to file workers' comp claims, and the sheriff's department is going to be seriously understaffed. So let's get Steve on.
Hey guys, yeah, so it looks like the sheriff, he sent out this alert last night, and he basically said the county is an imminent threat to public safety right now because of the vaccine mandate. And what he means by that is at the current rate it's going with people having to prove their vaccination status because of the county rules, he could lose 20 to 30% of his workforce. He's on track to lose 20 to 30% of his workforce. And for some of the reasons you just listed, John. But you think, for instance, if there was a deadline imposed right now, and let's say a deadline of next week, because there have been these artificial deadlines given for Monday and for Thursday the 4th, and they have been going back and forth with the union. And the sheriff said if that had been implemented, if there's a deadline, he could lose 44% of his workforce in one day. And that is a significant chunk of patrol deputies, SWAT officers, air units, Special Enforcement Bureau, you name it. They're all going to be impacted. So he said, listen, he sent a letter to the county board of supervisors. This is not going to work. We're on the downside of the pandemic. The sheriff's department's been following strict COVID protocols since day one. Everyone's been doing what they're supposed to be doing. We were following the same protocols in the middle of the surge. So it should work now, even with most of the people vaccinated anyway. But when you force this, you said it's kind of like putting storm windows on the house after the storm. So he says, you can't do this. People are quitting right now. It's going to impact response time. It's going to impact the potential deployment of mobile field forces when wildfires hit, meaning people won't be there to help with evacuations, street closures, things like that.
So he's I really feel like a princess.
Well, come on, let's play in the castle. If they were to impose a deadline that says you have to do it right now, or everyone, you have to quit, or you're going to get fired, or whatever the case is, or you have to vaccinate yourself. He claims if they were to do that in one day, that he could lose 44% of his work.
When is the date that this goes into effect?
Well, it's starting August 1st. If you remember, it would come out as an executive order by head of police. And then a few days later, the entire board ratified it. So it became a year.